Hello. As of the making of this video, it is exactly a year since a train of events started which has probably cost the lives of about 250,000 people already, and the mass disruption of millions. And so to commemorate this, I am going to bring an example of one man standing up against what he saw as a great evil and remaining steadfast in the face of very high personal danger. And I am, of course, referring to this guy, Mikhail Abdulkin, who is a regional politician in Samara in southern Russia, and filmed himself watching Putin's speech on the internet, wearing noodles over his ear. That's an incredibly dangerous act. And before I carry on with that, I'll tell you I'm granniopteryx. I am on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I am also on Twitter, Gab and Parler, where I am at granniopteryx. And I'll let you know when I've uploaded new videos on Twitter, Gab and Parler. All the links to all of these channels are in the description. Oh, you can help my channel by liking this video and by sharing it and by subscribing to the channel. If you're on YouTube, please remember subscriptions drop for no reason, so just check it's still active. Okay, and you can help me financially, of course. All the links are in the description. Right, let's get back to Mr. Abdulkin. There's a Russian expression. Putting noodles over somebody's ear means pulling their leg or lying to them. So he had the noodles over his ear and he was watching Putin, and what he was saying, of course, was that Putin's lying. This is an incredibly dangerous act. I don't know where he found the courage, but if I were him, I'd stay away from tall buildings. Russia's Communist Party has pledged to punish a regional politician who wore noodles on his ears during a speech by Vladimir Putin. Mikhail Abdulkin, a previously little-known MP in Samara in southern Russia, shared a video of himself watching Putin's State of the Nation address with noodles hanging over his ears in a clear mockery of the Russian leader. To hang noodles on someone's ears is a well-known idiom in Russia that means to tell lies or to pull someone's leg. In the video, Mr. Abdulkin stares at a screen from his desk as Putin delivered his annual address on Tuesday. Oh, why do they keep repeating themselves like that? Let's see if I can pick up that Twitter feed.
За долгие века колониализма, диктата, гегемония, они привыкли, что им все позволено. Привыкли поливать на весь мир.
Just look how he's nodding sagely. Now somebody is taking this photo. Somebody is taking this photo. That means that he has a partner in crime here. It's an absolutely brilliant piece of filming. Look how it starts. You can't really see the noodles and you think, well, what's that from his ears? And you know, you see his face absolutely deadpan. And then as you come round, you can see the noodles dangling there and his serious nodding all the time and looking at those people there on the screen, nodding all the time. And then it pans away. It's absolutely amazing. It's very clever and it is heartbreaking because, well, I don't know how long that man has, but his could be the little crack in the dam. This could be the beginning of Russian official resistance to Putin's adventure. I do hope so, before many more people die, and I hope it isn't Mr. Abdulkin. Sorry, this is really one person whose name I want to get right. Almost a year since the start of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, even veiled protests such as I wouldn't call that veiled, Mr. Abdulkin's are rare. Several hundred people have been jailed and thousands fined for social media posts casting doubt on the objectives of the war. Gennady Zyuganov, the long-standing leader of the Russian Communist Party, lauded Putin's address to the nation for expressing confidence and realism about today's Russia. Mr. Abdulkin's video was widely shared on Thursday after an MP from the ruling party complained on social media and urged Mr. Zyuganov to rein in his party members. You know what? That is an object lesson to us all. Who would have heard of Abdulkin until somebody from the Communist Party complained about him? Now it'll be viral. Alexander Yushchenko, the party's spokesman, said on Thursday that it would look into the lawmakers' stunt and won't leave it without attention. Well, props to you, Mr. Abdulkin. This is an act of extraordinary bravery, and we should all be very well aware of this. Russia is not a democracy, and it's steadily spiralling into the worst sort of militaristic autocracy that we can imagine. Now, I did say it was Russia's ambition to control the world, and I'll tell you why, or to dominate the world rather, and I'll tell you why I think that. You see, Russia already, pre-February 22, Russia had a stranglehold on the energy market in Europe, most of Europe, and would have felt that Europe was would remain quiet in the face of having its power cut. But the thing it didn't have was a stranglehold on the supply of food. Now, I don't remember the exact figures, but I think Libya imports about 80% of its wheat from Russia and Ukraine. And India, southern India, about 90% of all its sunflower oil. And in a vegetarian country, sunflower oil is one of the few sources of fat that people can get, vegetable oils. And it was importing huge quantities of sunflower oil. So if Russia had gained all of Ukraine and then probably Moldova, then they would have had the whole of the Black Sea outlet completely sewn up. And then they would have had control over grain exports to Egypt and Libya. They are literally on the breadline in those countries. If you miss a day without the bread supply, then people are actually going to starve. It's not like they'd switch to something else like more potatoes or rice or something. They don't have those either. They certainly don't have potatoes. So they would have had control over most of the countries in the MENA area, the Middle East and North Africa. So it wasn't just that Ukraine is a sacred part of the Holy Mother Russia that was split apart from the body of the nation and needs to be brought back. No, it's an economic necessity as well, as far as Russia or Putin was concerned. It would have given him immense power. And all you Americans who are against the Ukraine war, I very much understand why you are, but I think you're wrong, because I think it wouldn't have done you any good in the United Nations if Russia got that amount of power over so many countries. And that's just a minor side issue. I'm not talking about the starvation and the disruption that would have resulted from cutting of grain supplies to North Africa. Even just North Africa. Yeah, I'd say that's my take on it, but I do want to remind you of this man here, this wonderful, brave, intelligent, witty man. I don't know how long he lasts, so say his name, Abdulkin. He is one of the people of Russia, and there are many of them, who are great, great people. I hope he survives this, but even more, I hope that he sparks an emperor's new clothes moment in this awful Russian campaign. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.